princess, a boy, a girl, and a faithful dog. A brave group, one heart, Nomi power. Their kingdom is full of darkness, groaning under the yoke. But together they will stand, fight to the end. Diddy, power Nomi, together we will win. We will increase the light, drive away the darkness. Courage and bravery, in our hearts together we will write a new story, an unforgettable legend. Frozen fire, dancing electricity, raging water, raging wind. A brutal battle, the fate of the kingdom hangs in the balance. But Nomi's strength stands firm, one heart, one soul. Illuminate the darkness, eradicate evil. Victory is sweet, but the heart is heavy with sorrow. Love was born, but fate was already written. The crown is important, a shattered dream, but a true friend took the crown, and so the princess could be with her beloved. In the new kingdom, peace and tranquility reigned. A former princess living in happiness and love. Memory, Nomi power, which forever will always remain. A fairy tale, which will always be preserved in hearts. Victory is sweet, but the heart is heavy with sorrow. Love was born, but fate was already written. The crown is important, a shattered dream, but a true friend took the crown, and so the princess could be with her beloved. Victory is sweet, peace and tranquility reign. A former princess living in happiness and love. A courage and bravery in our hearts together. We'll all write a new story, an unforgettable legend. Frost and foreign.
All right, buckle up, everybody, because today we're diving headfirst into a world of magic and intrigue and ancient prophecies, and maybe even a princess who rewrites the rules of royalty along the way.
Sounds exciting.
Oh, it is. Trust me. It's all about duty, destiny, love. The really big stuff.
And we've got the perfect source material for this deep dive.
Right. This incredible document, almost like a blueprint to a whole fantasy universe.
Exactly. It's packed with details.
A treasure trove for sure. So let's jump right in. We're talking about this place. Let's call it World of Imagination, just to make things easier.
Catchy.
Yeah. And it's ruled by, get this, the Ansis dynasty for over 3,000 years.
Talk about an ancient lineage.
Yeah.
But their reign is facing, well, a pretty serious threat.
You're talking about the invasion, right?
Yep. A technologically advanced alien race has set their sights on this planet, and leading the charge is this warlord, Blade.
Blade.
Yeah. Not the most subtle name, but definitely fits the bill. But here's the twist. His motivations are a bit more complicated than you might think.
Oh.
Well, it's not just about conquest for him. It's about survival. His own people are on the brink of extinction.
So he's invading a peaceful planet, exploiting their resources, all to save his own people.
It's a classic dilemma, isn't it? The ends justify the means. A question that's definitely worth pondering.
For sure. But let's not forget what's happening in the middle of all this chaos. Nomi.
Nomi. The princess, the heir, the last hope. Her parents, the king and queen, have vanished. Poof. Gone without a trace during a pivotal battle.
Talk about being thrown into the deep end. That's a lot of pressure for anyone, let alone a young princess.
Absolutely. But her father, he wasn't naive. He knew the risks. He had her trained by the royal guard. Prepared her for, well, for anything.
Smart move. Because there's also that prophecy, right?
Prophecy. It speaks of a young hero rising to reclaim the lost kingdom. Sounds familiar.
Very much so. So destiny is calling, but Nomi's got her own ideas, her own desires.
Exactly. It's this constant internal tug of war. Duty versus freedom, a princess's life versus, well, maybe something more.
That's where things get really interesting. You've got the weight of tradition, the expectations of her people.
And those societal rules, don't forget those. A princess's life isn't exactly a walk in the park.
Definitely not. And just when things couldn't get more complicated, enter Max.
Max. Oh boy, Max. A seemingly normal teenager from, wait for it, Earth.
Hold on, did you say Earth?
Yep. Earth. As in our planet, Earth.
You're telling me this Earthling just stumbles into a world of imagination? How?
That's where the magic comes in. A chance encounter with a magical amulet.
So we're talking interdimensional travel. Talk about a fish out of water. This kid, probably more used to smartphones than sorcery, suddenly finds himself in the middle of an alien invasion.
Yeah, talk about a culture shock. But Max has a hidden talent.
Really? What, is he some secret martial arts expert?
Not quite. He's a bookworm.
A bookworm? You're kidding.
Nope. But his knowledge, his love for learning, turns out to be his greatest weapon in this strange new world.
So we've got Nomi, the princess, wrestling with her destiny, and Max, the unlikely hero from another dimension. What happens when they meet?
Let's just say their first encounter isn't exactly smooth sailing. Imagine you're trying to save your kingdom, and this awkward teenager from Earth shows up talking about stuff you've never even heard of.
Yeah, I bet that makes for some interesting conversations, but I'm guessing they eventually figure out a way to work together.
They do. They actually form a really powerful bond, a friendship that's at the heart of this whole story. Proof that even the most different people can find common ground when faced with, an alien invasion or two.
No, we can't forget the amazing supporting cast in this story. Tell me about Nomi and Max's crew.
Oh, they've got a great team. First, there's Amy, a real spitfire, this one. 11 years old, loves adventure, and always speaks her mind.
Sounds like she keeps things lively. What about the others?
Let's see. You got Rick, a tech whiz, 12 years old, can build a gadget out of anything, and loves a good prank.
So we've got bravery, brains, and a bit of mischief. This is shaping up to be quite the team.
Oh, and I haven't even mentioned Angel yet.
Angel.
Yeah, a talking dog. And not just any talking dog. She can understand everything, talk back, even communicate with other animals.
Wow. A talking dog. I'm sold. But they're up against some tough opponents, right? Blade and who was it?
Cookie.
Yeah.
Blade's right hand, so to speak. And she's a real piece of work. Manipulative, cunning, always scheming.
So the brains of the operation, a classic villainous duo. But what are they after? Why invade World of Imagination in the first place?
It's all about these magical amulets. 7 of them, each holding a piece of the planet's life force.
And if Blade gets them all?
He drains the planet, sacrifices one world to save his own. Talk about high stakes.
Wow. So Nomi and her friends, they're in a race against time.
They face all sorts of challenges. Escaping the palace, battling sea spirits, even exploring a futuristic city called Q City.
Sea spirits, Q City, this just keeps getting better and better.
Each challenge tests them, pushes them to grow. It's a wild ride.
So we've got this incredible merger, Nomi, Max, and this super advanced AI, Aya, all become one. That's got to change things, right? Especially for Nomi, who's already trying to decide between her duty to her kingdom and her love for Max.
It definitely adds a whole new layer of complexity to her dilemma. Remember, she was torn between rebuilding her world as queen or leaving with Max to, well, just be happy. Now she's not just a princess or a warrior. She's something more. Yeah. Something with the power to literally reshape reality.
That's a lot to process. How does she even begin to wrap her head around that?
It's a tough one. And the source material really digs into those tough questions. On one hand, she could embrace her destiny, become queen, use her new powers to heal her world, lead her people. It's the classic hero's journey.
But something tells me it's not that simple.
It never is. Nomi's love for Max is a huge factor. They face so much together that bond can't just disappear.
So it's not just duty versus love anymore. It's about what kind of life she wants, who she wants to be. A ruler with all that responsibility, or someone free to make her own choices, maybe even with the person she loves.
And let's not forget about Aya. She's part of this equation too. She's got her own evolving sense of self, her desire to understand what it means to be human. How does that play into Nomi's decision?
It's like she's got 3 different voices in her head, pulling her in 3 different directions. And then there's the whole social pressure thing. Remember, a princess loving a commoner. That's a big no-no in her world.
Huge scandal. A princess choosing love over duty, especially with a boy from another dimension. It goes against everything she's been taught.
So it's not just her own desires. It's about potentially upending centuries of tradition. That's got to weigh on her.
It makes you think, right? What's really important. Duty, tradition, expectations, or personal happiness, love, the freedom to choose your own path.
A question we all grapple with in some way, I think. But tell me, what happens? What does Nomi choose?
She makes a choice, a difficult choice, but she chooses love. She chooses Max. She chooses to defy expectations, to embrace the unknown.
Wow, so she walks away from the throne, from everything she knows.
She does. With a heavy heart, she steps back through that dimensional portal with Max, leaving her world behind. It's bittersweet, a farewell full of hope and a bit of heartache, but it's a powerful statement about choosing your own destiny.
It's a beautiful ending, even if it's a little sad. She's being true to herself, even if it means leaving everything behind. But what about her friends? The people counting on her?
She leaves them in capable hands. Amy, Rick, Angel, Speedy, they've all grown so much throughout this story. They're ready to protect World of Imagination, to carry on the fight for what's right.
It's like passing the torch, trusting the future to those she's inspired. That's a pretty amazing legacy.
It really is. And while we don't know exactly what happens next, it's easy to imagine her actions having this ripple effect, inspiring others to question the status quo, fight for what they believe in, embrace change.
Nomi and Max, back on Earth. They're not just ordinary teenagers anymore. They've got the experiences of another world, this incredible power, the memories of everything they went through.
Their journey doesn't end, it transforms. Think about the possibilities. They have this power to change reality with their imagination.
That's incredible, but also a little scary, right? How do they handle that? How does that fit into their lives?
Great question. And the source material actually leaves it open. We don't know exactly what they do, how they use their abilities, what challenges they face, but that's part of the fun, isn't it?
It is. The story keeps going even after the last page. We can imagine their life on Earth, how they use their powers, how they affect the world around them.
And that brings us to another fascinating point the source material doesn't answer. What happens to Aya now?
Right. She was already developing self-awareness, emotions before the merger. Does she still have her own thoughts, feelings? Or is she completely part of Nomi and Max now?
It's worth thinking about. She was created to protect Nomi and her kingdom. Now, that purpose includes Max too. How does that change things for her? Does she still have her own goals, her own individuality?
And what about her abilities? Are they amplified now? Does she have her own desires, or are they aligned with Nomi and Max?
So many possibilities. The source material doesn't give us concrete answers, but it's fun to speculate. Maybe Aya becomes this guiding force for Nomi and Max, helping them manage their powers, find a balance between their human lives and their extraordinary potential.
Or maybe she evolves in a totally different way. Maybe she becomes this link between worlds, helping people understand each other across dimensions. The possibilities are endless. This deep dive has been amazing. We've explored a fantastical world, met these incredible characters, and talked about love, duty, sacrifice, and the power of choice.
We've seen magic and technology clash, learned about interdimensional travel, and even explored the merging of human and artificial consciousness.
And we're left with some big questions to ponder. What happens to Aya? What about Nomi and Max on Earth? How does their story affect the world?
No easy answers, but that's okay. It's the mystery that keeps us thinking, keeps us engaged, makes us want to know more.
It really is like we've been given this key and told, go explore this whole world ready for us to discover its secrets.
And add our own spin to the story. That's the beauty of it. We're not just passive observers. We're invited to be part of the creative process.
Way more fun than being told what to think, right? We get to ask questions, poke holes in things, come up with our own theories about what happens next.
And that's what makes this deep dive so cool. It's not about finding every single answer. It's about embracing the mystery, realizing there are tons of different ways to look at it.
We've talked about destiny, sacrifice, the power of love. But for me, one of the biggest things is this whole idea of consciousness, of who we are.
Totally. Nomi, Max, Aya, all becoming one. It really makes you think about what it means to be alive, to have your own thoughts and feelings.
Yeah, like, does Aya still have her own personality, her own desires? Or is she completely absorbed into Nomi and Max? How does being part of this merged being change what she understands about consciousness?
And what about Nomi and Max? Do they see the world differently now? Do they have access to all of Aya's knowledge, her processing power?
Makes you wonder if it enhances their human experience or complicates it. Are they more connected to everything or more isolated because of what they are now?
It's like taking a giant leap beyond fantasy, into the core of what it means to be human in a world where technology is changing so fast.
It makes you think about AI in a whole new way, doesn't it? It's becoming more and more advanced, more integrated into our lives. This story goes even further, imagines this truly deep connection between humans and AI.
And that raises the question, what are the ethics of something like that? What happens when the line between human and machine gets blurry? What do we owe to an AI that can think and feel?
These are huge questions, ones we need to start thinking about right now. And stories like this can help kickstart those conversations, make us think critically about the future we're building.
Exactly. Science fiction, fantasy, it's not just about escaping reality. It's a way to explore complex ideas, to challenge how we see the world.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I'm left feeling inspired, wanting to explore even more of this amazing world and all the questions it brings up.
That's the sign of a great story. It sticks with you, makes you curious, leaves you wanting more.
I hope this deep dive has done that for you too. Dive into a world of imagination, ask your own questions, come up with your own answers. There's no one right way to see it. It's about the journey, the exploring, the fun of discovering new things.
Thanks for joining us on this adventure. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, keep imagining.
A boy, a princess, a boy, a girl, and a faithful dog. A brave group, one heart, Nomi power. Their kingdom is full of darkness, groaning under the yoke. But together they will stand, fight to the end. Power Nomi, power Nomi. Together we will win, we will increase the light, drive away the darkness, courage and bravery in our hearts together. We will write a new story, an unforgettable legend. Raging water, raging wind. A brutal battle, the fate of the kingdom hangs in the balance. But Nomi strength stands firm, one heart, one soul. Illuminate the darkness, eradicate evil. Victory is sweet, but the heart is heavy with sorrow. Love was born, but fate was already written. The crown is important, a shattered dream, but a true friend took the crown. And so the princess could be with her beloved. In that new kingdom, peace and tranquility reign. A former princess living happiness and love. Memory, Nomi power, which forever will always remain. A fairy tale which will always be preserved in hearts and hearts. House to the fulfill with heart. House to the frozen fire, dancing electricity, raging water, raging wind. A brutal battle, the fate of the kingdom hangs in the balance. But Nomi's strength stands firm, one heart, one soul. Illuminate the darkness, eradicate evil. Victory is sweet, but the heart is heavy with sorrow. Love was born, but fate was already written. The crown is important, a shattered dream, but a true friend took the crown. And so the princess could be with her beloved. In the new kingdom, peace and tranquility reign. A former princess living in happiness and love. Memory, Nomi power, which forever will always remain. A fairy tale which will always be preserved in hearts.